Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So this video is a quick little preview for the DAZN card that goes down this weekend. Takes place on the 5th of March and it goes down in San Diego, California at the Pechanga Arena. Headlined of course by Roman Gonzalez versus Julio Cesar Martinez. First and foremost, I have to say, this is a great fight. A fight I've been looking forward to ever since it was announced. Now, of course, when this... originally, of course, Roman Gonzalez was supposed to fight Juan Francisco Estrada for a third time, but Estrada, I believe he got injured in camp or something along those lines. He pulled out, and in comes Julio Cesar Martinez, looking at his opportunity for greatness. When you look at these two guys, stylistically, this one can't be a bad fight. No matter how it goes, this one's going to be violent. There will be blood in this fight. I can't see this fight being dull. I can't see it not catching fire. Both guys traditionally are aggressive fighters. You know, Roman Gonzalez, of course, one of the best pressure fighters we've seen in the last 20 years in the sport of boxing. So many subtleties to his game. He's got good defense for a come-forward fighter. He can counter on the front foot. Wonderful body puncher. He can fight on the inside. He's got a great jab. Roman Gonzalez can do it all. Julio Cesar Martinez, on the other hand, I would describe him as a gunslinger. He's a gambler. It's all or nothing for Julio Cesar Martinez. He takes big risks. He switches between stances, throwing power punches as leads, whether that's right hooks, left uppercuts, right uppercuts. Martinez comes to knock you out basically. Sometimes he's criticised for a lack of defense and, a lack of subtlety to his game, I guess you would say. But he's got the habit of overwhelming opponents, and that makes him very dangerous. Of course, Julio Cesar Martinez is also moving up in weight. As of right now, he's the WBC flyweight champion. This fight's taking place at super flyweight, so he is moving up in weight, but it's been well documented in the last 12 months that flyweight's not all that easy to make for Martinez, so I can't really see super flyweight being a big detriment to him, to be honest. And let's be real, Roman Gonzalez isn't exactly the biggest super flyweight in the world. He carries a bit of puppy fat when he fights at super flyweight, so Martinez going up in weight, I don't really expect it to affect him all that much. His game's going to be the same. In fact, he could even be fresher at super flyweight, so I don't expect, Martinez to be compromised in this bout. Head to head, of course, Roman Gonzalez is much more experienced. He's fought in more weight classes. He's fought more, more world champions. He's been in tougher fights. He's fought better fighters. So Gonzalez definitely more experienced. He's got the more versatile skill set, no doubt about it. He's got more bells and whistles to his game in comparison to Martinez. So when you look at this fight head to head, skill for skill, talent for talent, etc., Roman Gonzalez should win this fight. He's a far more skilled fighter. But Roman Gonzalez now, he must be mid-30s. Let's have a look. He must be mid-30s. Yeah, 34 years old, and that is old for a super flyweight, and on top of that, he's had 53 fights and some very hard fights along the way. So, you've got to take into account the wear and tear on Roman Gonzalez, his age. Yes, he's more skilled. Yes, he's more experienced, but he's not as fresh as Martinez. And sometimes, there comes a point in a fighter's career where the wheels fall off overnight. The fighter gets old overnight. Could this be that occurrence? Now, if it is, Julio Cesar Martinez is the worst sort of guy that you want to fight because he's a swarmer. He throws a lot of punches, Every single punch is hard. He puts it on you. He can attack at weird angles. And he's just got a habit of overwhelming opponents. And if you've got old overnight, again, Julio Cesar Martinez is the worst possible fighter that you can fight. He's got the style, the aggression, the output, the power to really expose you if you're not what you were. So this is a dangerous fight for Roman Gonzalez. It's a dangerous fight for Julio Cesar Martinez, based on Gonzalez's experience and his skill set. But, you know, when you look at both guys, I look at Roman Gonzalez's last performance against Juan Francisco Estrada. Yes, he lost that fight officially, but I felt he performed pretty well. Not at his prime anymore, no doubt about it, but he's still a very good fighter with world-class ability, with world-class skills. So, yes, I think Martinez is going to be a problem for Roman Gonzalez. I just have to favour Gonzalez's experience, his greater skill set, and all around he's just a better fighter than Julio Cesar Martinez. So I anticipate this fight being a bit of a war. I think both guys will have success in this bout. But I just believe at the end of the day, Roman Gonzalez will do enough to win this fight. I actually don't think Roman's going to knock out Julio Cesar Martinez. A lot of people are predicting that, and I understand why. But I think he'll see the distance in this fight, and I think he'll make it very competitive. Don't be surprised if Martinez in particular gets dropped. He does have a habit of, again, attacking at crazy angles. He takes a lot of risks, and sometimes he'll come in when he's clearly off balance. He still generates power in those shots, but it leaves him susceptible to being countered and maybe dropped, as we saw in the fight with Mukjoe Arroyo. So yeah, I'm going to say Roman Gonzalez wins this fight on points in a hard fight. Potentially Julio Cesar Martinez gets dropped in this one, but it's a great fight. I could see it going either way, quite frankly. And yeah, once again, Roman Gonzalez fighting yet another top opponent. And Julio Cesar Martinez, you know, just like his style, he's rolling the dice. He's taking a risk. He's going up in weight on relative short notice to fight an all-time great. That's what you want to see in boxing. Both guys are daring to be great, as they say. We hear that phrase all the time in boxing, when in reality that phrase is just used these days to basically sell a mismatch, to sell a cash out, you know? This fight isn't that. This fight is extremely intriguing. It's going to be violent, it's going to be brutal, there will be blood. If you like blood and guts with skill, this is your fight. No doubt about it. Excellent fight between Roman Gonzalez and Julio Cesar Martinez. And just a brief note on the undercard, we have the return of featherweight Mauricio Lara. Now, I'm quite excited to see Lara back in the ring. Of course, last year, he had a very interesting year. Got the shot, you know, he shocked Josh Warrington back in February of last year, knocking him out in a big shock. And in the rematch, Lara, in my opinion, was on his way to winning. I think he would have knocked out Warrington again, but Warrington headbutted him, and the fight was ruled a technical draw. So, Lara's coming off a mixed 2021, but, you know, he was coming off a big win that year, and he announced himself as a player in the featherweight division. He's fighting Emilio Sanchez, who's got a good record, but I have to say, I don't think I've seen this guy fight before. No, I've not seen this guy fight before. He's got a good record, but, you know, if Lara shows anything what he was, you know, if he turns up like he did against Warrington, he should win this fight more than likely. But it's good to see Lara back in the ring. Definitely a top contender at featherweight. We also have Angel Fierro at lightweight. He's fighting the veteran Juan Carlos Burgos, who's a really tough guy, by the way. Very tough guy. He's being used now, though, as a bit of a gatekeeper, a bit of a stepping stone. But, you know, he's been a good servant to the sport of boxing. On the undercard, we have super welterweight prospect Suleiman Sissoko. He's fighting Roberto Venezuela Jr. That's actually a pretty good fight. I'd imagine Sissoko wins this one. But you know, Roberto Valenzuela, sorry, I've seen him a few times. Yeah, I saw his fight with Alex Rocha. And yeah, he's pretty tough. He is what he is, but you'd imagine Sissoko wins, but we shall see. And on the undercard, we have some prospects like Diego Pacheco. He's getting a lot of high reviews in the USA. I've got to be honest, when I've seen Diego Pacheco, he's not really impressed me all that much. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter per se, but he's not one of those prospects, to me at least, where I look at him and think to myself, damn, that's the future. He's decent, he's okay, he's got a fun style, but we shall see. He's good fun though, he's good fun. We also have Mark Castro, the lightweight prospect. He's fighting Julio Madeira. Again, Mark Castro, he's decent, he's okay, but I don't really rate him all that highly. And apart from that, there's nothing else really to look forward to. We have the pro debut of Sky Nicholson. Now, as you guys know, I'm not a fan of female boxing, but I have to say, Sky Nicholson is up my street. She's a bit of a looker. Yeah, check her out on social media. She's a bit of a looker. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, listen, the undercard, not too strong. I am looking forward to seeing Lara back, I have to say. But it's all about the main event in this one. It's all about the main event. Roman Gonzalez versus Julio Cesar Martinez. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be brutal. And either Roman Gonzalez adds another stamp of greatness to his legacy, or Julio Cesar Martinez starts a new era. It's one of those fights. Can't wait for it. It's going to be great. Share your thoughts below. What do you make of a main event? Who are you picking to win this fight? As I've said, I've got Roman Gonzalez. I believe he'll win this fight on points. In a competitive fight, maybe he drops Martinez. Share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy.